smells first day fresh for 50 days. That is a shockingly long time. Freeze also has a refill reminder light. It even reminds you to refill it. So I never miss a day of freshness. Your home is so fresh. Upgrade to Febreze Plug.
Looks like it's bright. I'm on.
Dr. Garcia?
Crest Reality Checkup.
That crime you film on your tea, it's actually the buildup of top bacteria which can cause cavities in months. And your toothpaste just isn't cutting it.
Most toothpaste quit working in minutes, but the antibacterial fluoride in Crest Pro Health protects for up to 12 hours.
So I can stop cavities before they start.
Mm-hmm. Can I get a latte?
The #1 toothpaste brand in America, Crest.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through tough messes. So it makes it look like I spent hours cleaning. No, I didn't.
He makes my running shoe look like new. It's amazing.
Wow. It makes it look like I don't have kids at all.
It's so good. It makes it look like I have magical powers.
With 80% less scrubbing, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser makes cleaning easy. Also available in sheets.
I used to wait to run my dishwasher till it was super full. Now, I dish differently. I run it daily. Weekdays. Weekends. Sometimes after a big snack. You might think that's wasteful, but it's not. Because even half loads use 80% less water than hand washing, saving up to $130 a year on utilities. And with Cascade Platinum Plus, you just straight load done. So next time you're waiting to run it, just run it. Bigger, dish differently.
First, let's take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Skycam.
Here we go. It's all about Zach Martin here tonight. He had an incredible matchup throughout the course of the evening against Dexter Lawrence. Those two were battling all night long, and you see some of the great plays Zach Martin did, and then he pulls out on the edge and takes care of the quarterback, Dane Belton. But they are so happy to have that superstar, former Hall of Famer right there, Zach Martin, on their team.
Run inside with Matt Breida for a couple. As Matt Parrott came off during the timeout, and Joshua Izulu is in over at left tackle for the Giants. Andrew Thomas is out to start the drive, and Neil in at the right side. The Giants have some backups in there as well. With half the fourth quarter remaining, the Giants down 40-0. One of the worst openers in the long history of the Giants. They're off a 9-win playoff season. Flag down as Jones is running. They need 3 yards on that. Keeper to the 35. Back to the flag. And so we'll come back.
Holding offense. Number 78. 10 correction. Number 68. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Ben Bredesen, the guard, as we mentioned, Thomas 78 is out. The Giants go to Arizona next week, and they'll stay out on the West Coast. They'll stay in Arizona after the game because they turn around from the Arizona game on Sunday and play at San Francisco the following Thursday night. So back-to-back West Coast games. The Giants will stay out there. A lot to prove the next week. Sack number 7 on the night for Dallas. And Chauncey Golston had won all of last year.
Yeah. I mean, this is awful. I mean, I don't know what else to say. We've all been in games like this. I've played in more than my fair share where nothing goes right. The rain, the whole bit, the pass game can't get going at all. And Aaron Rodgers up next.
That's who Dallas has next.
The Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure he's paying attention.
Good news out of that for the Giants was it was a flag downfield. So the Giants at first and 10 now. No sack. Right well with the carry for New York there. It's a tough start. The Giants knew that coming into the season. I mentioned the back-to-back on the West Coast. Then Seattle, Seahawks losing today at Miami, and then we'll be up in Buffalo to see the Giants and Brian Daboll, who was with the Bills as the offensive coordinator before getting this job and is from the Western New York area grew up just a few miles from the stadium. The back home for the family. Harris Campbell finally connects with Daniel Jones, but he's thrown down by Bland. It brings up third down. So I started asking before, like, why keep Daniel Jones in? He's getting hit, all that. Is it just trying to get something positive going so they can leave with some momentum?
I don't think so. I think it's probably almost Daniel Jones going, hey, this into this mess. Let me just keep going. And there's something about the football team, and in particular your quarterback, who's willing to go out in these conditions. No, you have no chance whatsoever. But really say, I don't care how many times I get hit. I'm your quarterback. I'm going to stand in there. I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep playing out here. And he'll gain a lot of respect out of this game tonight. Tough night to throw the football for both teams. No question about it with the conditions and the rain. But it's a bit of a statement, I think, by Daniel Jones. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Ball comes out as well. Giants are able to fall on it. Mark Lewinsky is able to pick it up, and that sack away from Chelsea posted with the penalty. He gets back, and again, it is a 7th sack for the Cowboys.
I mean, they're on pace for over 100 sacks right now on the season, and it just has not. They're doing everything they can, but they're not picking up stunts. You can see the twists and stunts that the Cowboys have been putting on them. And in particular, they've been focused on the lookout.
Fowler got a huge hit. He's offside. St. Louis got a huge jump. Offsides. Flag comes down.
And what happens is it turns into a bit of a feeding frenzy. Guys want to pad the stats and do all that stuff. And
Offside. Defense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. Still second out.
It's Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and the Bills wrap up week 1 with the Monday Nighter here. And Aaron always wants to get that free play when you draw a guy offside. And sometimes you see why they kill those plays. And they'll say underpaid to the quarterback because of hits like that. When you get a head start. 7, the record is 9 for an opening night for Dallas. Extreme relief and pressure with Matt Breida. And he loses the football. Harris Campbell jumps on it for the Giants. Marquise Bell knocked that one out. This Dallas defense is going to be so confident going into next week.
this is wild. I mean, just wild. They are just destroying the Giants. Destroying them. Some of these hits tonight have been extraordinary. We're down to the backup guys in the game right now. But I tell you, you know who hit it right on the head is Mike McCarthy. He said, I've never had a team that the defense picked off right where they left off in the season. And this defense did.
Darius Slayton there with catch. You talked about Dan Quinn earlier, and you know, Chris, defensive coordinators so often have a style, pressure style, things like that. They're a connection. But Dan Quinn has connected with his players. He's the head coach in Atlanta. I know the way the Super Bowl ended and all that, but go back to Seattle. Dan Quinn really is able to get on the same page with his guys, and they love playing.
It was probably the biggest move of the offseason was Dan Quinn returning. Because the brotherhood and all that they established and all that they talk about, but they have only begun to unwrap what they're going to do from a pressure standpoint. I know they have a bunch left on that play sheet that they didn't get to tonight. They didn't have to.
Within 14 and pressure there on Jones. Incomplete turnover on downs. Dallas will take over with 3:10 to go. Gives us a chance to look to the headlines for week 1. First, the Browns beat the Bengals and Joe Burrow after the contract, but not being able to play all preseason. Really looked rusty, 45% completion.
The Bengals looked a little like the Giants tonight. It was wet, it was raining, they weren't throwing the ball effectively.
Not good to San Francisco, though.
Christian McCaffrey, really, since he went out there, it has just been a different football team.
And the first-round quarterbacks each losing their debut. Bryce Young with Carolina, C.J. Stroud with Houston, Anthony Richardson, who had some moments, but also took some very big hits. In that Colts loss to Jacksonville. And like the Dolphins Chargers, they just throw them out on the field and it's up and down the field. Doesn't matter which generation, which quarterback. Look at the numbers by Tua, 4th all time for passing yards in a season opener. Tyreek Hill said he's going to get 2,000. Well, 10% of the way there.
He is on his way. It really was. It was some game to watch. And it's sort of like, it's almost like old AFL football. Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, how far can I throw this?
Herbert and Tua going back and forth. We were watching this and get ready for the game. Back and forth between that game and the Patriots and the Eagles. Some really good games in the late window. It's going to be a week 1 where the road team wins again here. Started with the Lions winning Kansas City, continues here. It's 10 road wins of the 14 week 1 games. It's similar to the pattern that developed last year as well. Head down here to the 2-minute warning and 40-0 for the Cowboys. And as soon as we are officially done here, it's the Chevrolet postgame. Melissa will interview the star of the game, and we'll take a little deeper dive into next week's Dolphins-Patriots matchup in Foxborough. Great to see honoring Tom Brady in Foxborough earlier today. Tom will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. A Hall of Famer needs to be recognized for a moment here. Gil Brandt, who was one of the premier executives of the National Football League, revolutionized so much in football and scouting as well, passed away. There he is with Jerry Jones when he got his bust to go to the Hall of Fame, as Jerry has been watching on. And all the Cowboys family felt the loss of Gil Brandt. Any of us who were around the league always saw Gil Brandt. Gil Brandt could talk to you about any player in the league for 50, 60 years and tell you his high school, tell you something about his hometown. He's truly one of the special people in the league.
Yeah, and I tell you, Jerry Jones paid him quite a tribute, didn't he? Really acknowledged the significance. The team sort of brought the computerized scouting system into the National Football League, and the Cowboys for a while were just ahead of everybody else in the game, and Gil Brandt was a huge part of it. I mean, he was so much fun to run into in the field before we do a podcast, because he always had, more stories than you could take on. So I love being around Gil Brandt.
Tex Schramm, the GM, Gil Brandt, Tom Landry, part of that great Cowboys run. And then for many who didn't remember Gil Brandt, the executive, if you're big hardcore fans, you listen to the Sirius XM NFL radio channel, Gil Brandt was on, and you'd listen. I'd be in the car and you'd just be waiting for a Gil Brandt story. I remember 1967 scouting this guy in this town, and one of the true special people in the league. And he is missed and was honored by so many people around the league when he passed away.
Yeah. Mike, I can remember a game in which I played in New England. And back in the days, the Patriots, when they scored a touchdown, they played Moni Moni, the song. Remember Moni Moni?
You want to sing it?
Man.
Okay.
And so at the end of the game, we're getting beat like 56-7. I'm not kidding you. I mean, it's ridiculous. Worse than this out here. And on the bench, we're all sort of sitting there going, Moni Moni, hey, Moni Moni. We did. I'm not kidding you. I'm like, this is the worst defeat in the history of football. If we're singing their fight song,
You kept hearing it over and over.
so many times, you knew all the words.
Well, the Giants will try to lick their wounds. The other side of this, Dallas, we mentioned they'll play Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in week 2. Then they follow the Giants going to Arizona, have the Patriots, and we'll see one of the heavyweight matchups in the NFC when Dallas goes out to San Francisco, the team that beat them in the playoffs and ended their season the last 2 years. It'll be early October on a Sunday night in Santa Clara. 4th down here for the Cowboys. It's been mostly Cooper Rush handing to Deuce Vaughn. Vaughn 6 carries, 8 yards. And on 4th and 4, Cooper's going to get the throw. And it's too high and incomplete. The Giants will take off with 1:10 to go. No, it's 40-0. It's in good shape. Dan Quinn just came down from the box. He's down there on the sideline. Enjoy it with his guys, as this one will end with a big-time Cowboy opening night victory.
Such a good guy. Always with that hat on backwards and punching and beating on it. That's who he is. I'm telling you.
Connection to the brother. And somewhere in there is Tyrod Taylor, he takes over at quarterback as Daniel Jones' night is done. 13th year in the league for Taylor. His second year as the backup for Daniel Jones. And he will escape and run with a flag down behind the play. Taylor gets out the 38-yard line. He gets his second toe at the other side. And Trey Lance is a quarterback now for the Dallas Cowboys. That trade late in the preseason. There he is. He's the third quarterback. That's the new rule in the NFL where if the first two cannot play because of injury or disqualification,
Holding offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
then the third quarterback can come in. So this is a night where he says 40 enough to be throw Trey Lance in for a series. You can't because the other two are still healthy and able to play. But he's there and watching it, and we'll see what the Cowboys have in him as you go through the next year plus.
Yeah, what did Dak say about it? He said, "You can't stop talking about it. We won't let you." That's kind of all you needed to know.
Garrett Brightwell takes this pass midfield. Devin Harper the tackle for Dallas. Final 50 seconds of this one. Can you flush it? Can you just say, okay, it's just one, fine, no big deal? How hard will it be for the Giants this week?
You know, I mean, the weird part of football is if they had gotten beat tonight on a last-second field goal, it's no different than this one, right? You get one thumbs up and one thumbs down after tonight's game, and that's all it is.
Brightwell again, and the Cowboys playing to the very last snap. Deron Bland with that. And it is time to pack it up. Shout out to Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys folks who wore FDNY for the Fire Department of New York Police Department ball caps with 9/11 coming in less than an hour. Great sign of respect from Dallas. And
Got Mike. Congrats, buddy. Great year.
a dominant performance by Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys here tonight. What a way to start this season as they come to the Giants and hand the Giants about as big an opening week loss as we've seen in the NFL in almost a quarter century. 40-0, the Cowboys win, beat the Giants for the 12th time in the last 13. The Chevrolet postgame show is coming up. But first, these messages from your local NBC station.
When you're shopping at Ware Butler, you're supporting a Maine business that employs Maine people. We make metal roofing here, and we offer a turnaround time that's a lot quicker than our competition. We have 5 different panel profiles. It's economical. It's easy to install. There's a lot of colors to choose from. We have stuff ready to go that won't hold you up on your job. And the biggest benefit here in Maine is the fact that it allows the snow to exit the roof and not hold like shingles.
Ware Butler Building Supply, Maine, from start to finish. We get up and go, no matter what day it is. We make sure nothing keeps us from doing what needs to be done, because we're driven by what we love. Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment handles any job, big or small. From trimmers, blowers, and mowers to Pullman chainsaws, Milwaukee's battery-operated, high-output tools will help get you to moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that care.
Think you can't afford college? Think again. Right now, tuition is free at Washington County Community College in Calais for recent high school graduates. So if you graduated from 2020 to 2022, you won't pay anything in tuition or mandatory fees while you pursue a degree or certificate full-time. Whether you're looking for a hands-on education for in-demand careers or want to take courses to transfer to a university, you can do it for free at WCCC. The time to discover your future is now. Learn more at www.wccc.me.edu.
Amina and Liz for me. Don't they have something like a stand or something so you don't have to hold this? Come on, where is Adam? For crying out loud! This is.
I'm gonna sit better.
You should be here all the time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good service, Lee. When my car is worked on, they wash it too. I hope I get a new car for free.
Chevrolet postgame. Here now, Mike Tirico.
Dominant right from the start. The blocked field goal, offense, defense, means everything. Dallas wins 40-0. The worst opening game shutout in the NFL since the Browns returned in 1999. Pittsburgh beat them 43-0. Our players of the game tonight, you go everywhere in the Cowboys. We go with Dak Prescott and his total performance. Pollard, 2 touchdowns in game 1 as the top running back of the Cowboys, and the defense was outstanding throughout. And here is let's start with the Cowboys quarterback.
Well, Dak told us this week, whenever the Cowboys play the Giants, it is a heavyweight fight. This was a total knockout. What impressed you most?
Just the discipline of our team, getting up early, staying committed to it, not getting ahead of ourselves. All 3 phases. I don't know really what I have this for. I think this belongs to the defense. These guys, offensive line, made it easy. A fun game. Way to start the season off.
And this guy over here, 2 touchdowns for you, and now the #1 running back. How would you describe this win?
Man, I'm just blessed. Blessed to be back on the field, be back healthy. Grateful for the opportunity. We prepare so hard all week. We put in the work. We kill ourselves all week at practice for these moments, and then we come out and put on a show like this.
And what was it like to have Mike McCarthy in your ear calling the plays for the first time?
It was great. Something that I look forward to. He has a great way of getting them in, keeping our tempo going, whether we're in the huddle, outside of the huddle. He knows what he wants to do. It's fun. It's fun. It's just getting started.
Just getting started. Now you head back home and you host the other New York team, the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers. You guys have had a couple of good battles. What can we expect?
Obviously, you always got to respect Aaron. One of the best to do it. Know they've got a great defense, but we'll be ready. We're going to prepare our asses off this week and make sure we're ready to go.
Congratulations, guys.
Time to list things. They'll go for the full Sinatra. They'll go for New York to start the season. This week on Peacock, head to the Duck Ranch and stream every episode of Yellowstone. Plus, your post-game commentary fix. Don't miss Pro Football Talk and Sunday Night Football Final.
Well, Mike, it was about 15 minutes before kickoff. We were all standing there. The rain started coming down. It was coming down heavily. And not long after, it washed the New York Giants home straight down the drain. This Dallas Cowboys team has been welcomed, coach, to the show. Rain continues to fall. Has brought us into the tunnel.
It's not every day that you get a Hall of Famer hanging out with you in the tunnel at MetLife Stadium.
It's pretty sweet. You ever see a game like this here?
As a matter of fact, I have. I was in a playoff game. We lost the game on this field 41-0, but I don't think it was as bad as this game tonight. This was tough on the home team, Ron.
Hey, let's get into these highlights. I would not expect to see the New York Giants in this one. It was all Cowboys from the very jump, and it started with that opening drive. The Giants were going down the field. You're thinking, this is looking pretty good. Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones, things were smooth on the opening script. Got down there, and it all went wrong with a bad snap, and then this block.
And this can't happen on special teams. You work this every single day. This is something that you do, and this is just a huge mistake by the New York Giants. Gave the Dallas Cowboys a lot of momentum.
And didn't it feel like the momentum just turned right there after that? Great play, jumped through the wing and the tight end, jumped over, and Dallas was rolling from here on.
Fournier, Thomas with the block there, then Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, ball knocked loose, Ron Bland with the pick six.
Yeah, we talk about the impact of these veteran cornerbacks, and this is just a nice picture hit right with the shoulder onto the helmet, creates that interception.
First of many big plays Trayvon Diggs would make.
Absolutely.
First shot of disappointment right there on Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones on the roll. He was on the run from the very jump, trying to find any receivers. Instead, picked off Stephon Gilmore, 2-time All-Pro.
Once again, the other cornerback just making plays, and now you have an opportunity to see a little pitch, goes in for a touchdown. Tony Pollard.
Dallas offensive line did a great job tonight too, and the big men were rolling. Here's another one.
Tony Pollard.
Just walks in. Just walks in. It's just too easy for him.
What was most impressive as you watch this game, thinking about the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm gonna tell you the most disappointing thing for me. Coach Brian Daboll, he was the coach of the year last year. They had an entire offseason. They had an entire training camp. And for them to come out here and put a product like that on the football field was very disappointing for me. Wink Martindale's defense coordinator, and they looked absolutely terrible, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to take the other side of it, Jack. We talked to Mike McCarthy before the game, and I said, hey, what are you thinking? We've got to use our speed, and that speed was evident today, and they looked fast, the Cowboys did.
Absolutely. You look on the defensive side of the ball, and Micah Parsons, he's the key. He's the guy that makes everything work. I mean, he's the guy that's constantly double team. You can line him up anywhere on the field and really free up his other guys.
We got Trayvon Diggs.
Oh, he's coming
Making
soon.
his way.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, bro, we got our pro coming. Now he's a big hitter. We know about the interception. Now he's just hitting everybody. What's up, boy?
I'm glad we're standing up, too, because people can see how big this corner is. That's one thing we said about this secondary, boy. They've got some big men.
And, Jack, you noticed it when we're on the field. You said, man, you look at these DBs. I mean, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, happy we just won. Guys are flying around today. You know, I'm just happy. It's a great start to the season. And, you know, we're ready to go.
What was the game plan coming in against the Giants? You know, Daniel Jones scrambling around, moving around, Saquon Barkley. They talked about all the speed they had at the wide receiver position. What was you guys' game plan?
It's just a play our game. You know, we got the same guys that match up with their guys. So, you know, we just handle our one-on-ones and just, you know, just get down to business. You know, just take one play at a time, one step at a time, and just execute. And that's what we did.
Rodney and I are both former DBs. We played with some great defensive linemen. What is it like to play corner when you know those guys are humming and the quarterback doesn't have much time back there?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. I really do. You know, those guys do a great job up front, you know, getting pressure on the quarterback, you know, flying around, you know, causing turnovers. You know, it's just, you know, it's a team. So, you know, the defense is playing great all together, and it's lovely to see.
I got to ask you about my boy Stephon Gilmore and what he brings. I mean, we know about his consistency and just how steady he is. How has he affected your play?
He helped me out a lot. You know, like even in training camp, you know, just every day, just help me out any way he can. Just, you know, sharpening up my technique. You know, and I feel like having him, you know, I just got a lot better, like 10 times better. And, you know, you see what he can do on the field. You know, he got his whole side. You know, I got my own side. And, you know, he's just gonna rock out like that the whole year.
Now, you are known for your ball skills and your hands and interceptions. You made 2 physical plays tonight, knocking the ball loose for an interception for a touchdown, strip, fumble. Is this something you're working on and adding to your game?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm not getting that many passes, so I got to another way. So, you know, I'm going to, you know, step my game up that way and just, you know, try to get best football player I can be.
One thing I noticed is the way you play with your confidence and swag. Where does that come from?
I feel like it kind of got a little bit of receipt for me, a little bit, and I brought it over to the defensive backside, you know, and it's just, you know, I'm just confident in my ability, I'm confident in my technique, you know, I put the work in, so there's nothing to ever be scared about.
Go ahead, Jack.
This was a pretty historic butt whooping out here. We just saw tonight. When did it start to feel like this game, this night, belonged to Dallas Cowboys?
That's a good question. I feel like, you know, we put the work in all camp, you know, just to see, you know, how we go against our offense, you know, those guys, and just compete. And I feel like every game could go like that. Every game could be that way. You know, if we execute and do exactly what we do, can nobody stop us.
Now, talking to a lot of players, they talk about Dan Quinn, and he gives you guys a lot of freedom, and you guys like to play hard for him. What is it about Dan Quinn that makes this team go?
He puts you in positions to make plays, you know, to make plays to your ability, what you do best, you know. So he gonna put you in a position, and all you gotta do is make the play. And I feel like we made all of them.
Yeah, we got your big man working up front, huh? How do you feel? Are you saying, hey, let him throw the ball a little so I can make a play, or do you like to see these sacks?
I like to see it. You know, we'll go back and forth. Like, can we get a couple seconds?
You know, the thing that we notice is just the team speed on defense, man. It doesn't matter if it's the first group, the second group, you guys rotating guys, just the team speed. I mean, where does that come from?
It's just a standard, you know. I feel like if anybody goes out there, you know, living up to the defensive standard that, you know, Q wants us to play to. And I feel like everyone does that. Everyone's on the same page. So if one guy tired, go in there and execute the same way.
You mentioned Coach, your defensive coordinator, also this secondary, so many veterans back there. Where's the advantage? What's the advantage in that communication-wise, getting everything set up defensively?
I feel like we've been together for these past 3 years, you know, and we're closer than ever now. So communication is easy, just communicating and passing across the defense, and all of the veterans is in the back end. So we can help out the guys, the young guys, the linebackers, and it's just flow, like it's just perfect. So it's just good. I'm excited.
Man, we're not gonna hold you any longer. We know you gotta go celebrate with your team, but man, really proud of you, man. Congratulations.
It was fun watching you guys tonight.
Congratulations. I think you used the perfect word too. It was perfect. It's exactly what it was.
Look how he's standing tall over me. This is a cornerback right here.
We always enjoy when people come out here and make Rodney look small, so we really appreciate you for that as well. Let's get to some of these miscues, though, on the part of the Giants, and there were a lot of them early on, offensively, defensively. Take your pick.
Rodney talked about them not playing well, but a lot of it was the team speed of Dallas getting into it, really turning the game.
Absolutely, Coach. It just seemed like they were intimidated. I mean, Dallas came out, they were flying around, they were playing physical. You talked about the communication. You saw with all the different hand signals, and then just the easy missed field goals, and you see the frustration with Brian Daboll right there.
I saw you talking to Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, before the game, specifically about Micah Parsons, his role, moving him around. What did he tell you?
Well, I asked him about keeping Daniel Jones in the pocket. Were they going to do anything special? And he said, we are going to move Micah Parsons around. We don't want him to be double teamed. We want them to have to guess where he is. And he played in front of each one of the 5 offensive linemen and made things happen, right?
And that's the thing that really makes this defense dangerous, because you're all week you're trying to figure out exactly where he's at, and here he is on the right side of the defense, and just his effort, his energy that he plays with. Guys getting double teamed, he's getting double teamed. Free opportunities for other guys, Coach.
Yep. And now he's rushing over the guard, beats him, gets a sack. He rushed over the center, made plays, and I think this is good coaching too, taking advantage of what a guy can do and not letting the offense hone in on where he's going to be.
Absolutely, and I think we forgot about Dan Quinn being a great defensive coordinator. Look at the boys acting up.
I like it. Recovery, getting ready for next week already.
That's Stefan. That's smart. That's what they're supposed to do.
And I think that's what he's brought here, a little veteran moxie, right?
Absolutely.
Stephon Gilmore.
This is what I used to do, not really after the game, the next morning, but this is new. This is Stephon Gilmore instilling all that professionalism into that young corner.
Yeah, different team, brings some Super Bowl experience to that secondary as well, and you just heard Trayvon talking about that. How about on the flip side? 'Cause I thought you made a really great point in the pregame show with the Giants. They have some inexperienced DBs you were talking about during the pregame, especially with how much Wink likes to blitz.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. You rely on those young cornerbacks, but they have to go one-on-one against these veteran